going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Country Farmers. This week we're going to be discussing the top 5 cons or the top 5 reasons why not to build a house. But first, given that archery season is less than 1 week away in Pennsylvania, let's take a look about how we get ready for hunting season Country Farmers style. It's definitely going to be a good year. It's finally starting to get cool here in Pennsylvania. Temperatures are in the 60s. The sun isn't beating down every day. It's sure been a rainy summer, but we're looking forward to the fall to get ready for the 2018 deer archery season. Like I said earlier, today we're going to be covering the top 5 reasons or the top 5 cons as to building a home. And it may not come as a surprise to you, but con number 1 is going to be cost. There's a lot of upfront and hidden costs associated with building a home. The interest rates are different for building homes. Banks want to have more money down up front. There's no such thing as closing cost assistance when it comes to building a new home. And there's also going to be engineering fees, permit application fees, the cost of the permits themselves. You have to pay the private engineers that you hire to develop your plans. You have to pay the township engineers to approve the plans. And then even just the building permit itself is fairly costly. So we're going to take a look at some of those items now.
House layout, stormwater, erosion sediment control plans, $2,000. Septic permit, $600. Building permit, $2,400. The list goes on and on.
And also don't forget that you pay money on a monthly basis for the interest during the period of the build itself. So we're getting up into about the 6-figure level of the draw. So as the builder progresses with the home, you know, they take draws from the bank. So we're going to be soon approaching the 4-figure monthly interest payment. So it takes a lot of money up front to be able to build a house. So a lot of the upfront costs, you can also look at that as a pro as well. The appliances are going to have a warranty. The house itself has a warranty. So while things may be more expensive up front, you shouldn't really be incurring any unexpected costs shortly thereafter moving into the home. Reason number 2, or con number 2 to building a new home, is going to be how abstract it is at times. It can be a little difficult to look at an artist's rendition, a 2D drawing of really essentially what are your blueprints at the beginning of the process, and accurately assess, is this room going to be big enough? Should the island go here? How will that window look here? There's just a lot to sort of take in and to be able to visualize, whereas walking into an existing home that you're thinking about purchasing, you can obviously see everything as is in front of you. So it can definitely be difficult at times, the abstract nature of building a home, and some people may get a little uncomfortable with that. You have to make a lot of decisions, frequently a lot of important decisions, and it can be a little stressful at times, not really knowing if you're making the right decision until you're fully committed and it's potentially too late. So definitely con number 2 would be how abstract the process can be at times. The third con is going to be time. So we looked at our lot in early November of 2017, and here we are almost October of 2018. Now keep in mind, your mileage may vary. Everyone kind of goes through the process a little differently, but we had to look at the lot, do some research on it. Then we committed to the lot in March of 18. We got our construction loan in June of 18, but we didn't get our permits until about August of 18. So we had kind of an uphill battle the whole time with the permits, just due to the complexity of our lot and the way it sits, and with the septic and the stormwater and some other things. So it may not take you as long as it's taken us, but you know, we're already approaching the 1 year mark. So, and it can be tough. You have little things like all your stuff's in a storage unit. And this is what it's like to wait for your house to be done being built and living out of a storage unit. And it can be stressful wondering, did this item make the trip from Pittsburgh? Is it in the storage unit? I don't know. I haven't seen it in well over 6 months. So the time, it can be tough, especially for not really knowing where all your stuff is. The most accurate motto when it comes to building a home is hurry up and wait. And you'll realize that, throughout the build process. You'll reach a point where you just kind of have to stop stressing about things. You have to stop worrying about the timeline, and you want to have a good quality home. So you can't rush things. It's been raining for probably almost 3 months now, so that doesn't help anybody. We're in the hurricane season, so materials are tight. It's just a lot, and you just have to be patient and trust the process and know that you're going to be getting a good product in the end. Okay, so we've covered 3 of the 5 cons, but I want to take a little bit of a break and start to introduce a little bit of new material into the channel. So let's take a look at what we have for you guys. Okay, and some of you are probably wondering, I thought this was a family channel, and it is, but the name of the channel is Country Farmers, and we are strong believers of the Second Amendment here, and we like to have our toys as well. Which reminds me, probably mid to late October, we're going to be having a range day. We'll have some stamp-worthy items, and we're also going to have a drone rolling out for the channel. So be sure to stay tuned for the mid to late October video highlighting some of the additional content that Country Farmers will be bringing you all. But before we get too carried away, back to con number 4. Con number 4 is going to be surprises, right? Just like hurry up and wait, always expect the unexpected. There's a lot of highs and lows when you build a home, right? So you really have to try to stay even keel. You can't get too excited when, say, they frame your house in about 10 days, if you guys remember the previous video. You also can't get too low whenever, there's a 2-week lull and really nothing happens, whether you're waiting on contractors to move back in or you're waiting for materials to be delivered. You have to stay even keel. Right after the house was framed, we got all excited, and then this happened.
You can see here, there's our 2-story great room. It's actually a vaulted ceiling. Well, when the trusses were delivered, we were supposed to have a flat ceiling in the 2-story great room, so it was going to be squared at the top. And then our master bedroom was supposed to have the vault. Well, they delivered flat trusses for the master bedroom, and they delivered vaulted trusses for the great room. So we were able to get the vaulted trusses for the master bedroom. However, we went ahead with the vaulted trusses as well for the great room, thinking it would be an added feature of a little bit extra space. And little did we know that with the way our fireplace is situated, it's actually off center, because we want to follow this line all the way up. We're going to have stone veneer on the fireplace, 2 stories, and it was originally going to go up to this flat panel right here, and there would be no problem with the square stone veneer going all the way up. But now it's at a vaulted ceiling, it doesn't even come to the peak, it actually spans the peak.
While that may not seem like a big deal to you all, I lost some sleep over that. That's one of the main features of our house, is going to be that 2-story great room, and we were able to get the situation rectified, but little things like that pop up all the time. So by far the 4th con to building a house is you have to be ready for surprises, whereas you walk into a new home, you see everything as is. That's not to say that maybe the furnace won't tank in a month in a new home, or you're going to need a new roof, but hopefully those things should surface during the home inspection. So get ready for some surprises when you're building a house. And the 5th con is definitely going to be involvement. How involved can you be? Do you work a full-time job? Can you take various contractor phone calls throughout the day? Can you be at 7 a.m. appointments to meet the electrician and the plumber before you work your 8-hour day? Are you able to go to the building centers on the weekends? It's just a lot of work. And also you have to upkeep your lot during all of this. It's tough when you're not physically at a location. You have to go there just to weed whack. Or clean up the yard. So those are the top 5 cons to building a home. The take-home message for this video would be patient, do your homework, make sure you find a good builder, and you can't really rush the process, okay? There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Expect the unexpected. Would we do it again? Probably. Nobody writes a manual on how to build a house. Nobody can tell you exactly what to expect. You just have to be flexible, and at the end of the day, sit back and enjoy the process. And once it's all done, you'll have a beautiful new custom home.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Country Farmers. We finally got our tree stand set up with archery season less than a week away. We're excited between the house progress and everything else that's going on in central Pennsylvania. It's turning out to be a good year. We'll catch you guys next time for Country Farmers.